If I get the speakership position in Nakuru County, one of the things that I want to really help the MCAs is in terms of messaging the work they do, in terms of the community understanding that a certain law that the MCA is proposing is important to them. And this is what is important about. And the only way you can do that is that making sure that we appropriate some resources to facilitate the process of public participation, oversight, and making the work of the MCA easier. Even for the senators, they also need to be given some resources so that when it comes to oversight, they have people within the ground, in the sub-counties, who can tell them, Bwana Senator, in the budget you allocated this county, we had proposed the following, but we are not seeing it happening. If there is a road you had said we shall be done, it has been done, but after the rains came, it has gone. Because a lot of these senators don't have the money even to go and know what is happening. So we need to appropriate some resources to help and invest in competent people to provide oversight. We have a lot of civil society doing oversight, but that oversight does not help because it is not anchored in law. It can only come to a media house like this, and that's it. But if we have an oversight responsibility anchored in law, so that if a report comes from us in my sub-county, from a senator's office, it is a document that can hold any governor to account. If there's an oversight report coming from an MCA's office with his small team that he has been provided resources with, he can hold the governor to account, and the county assembly can hold the government to account at that point. And the speaker can be measured that he has been able to steward the entire county assembly in holding the county government to account, facilitated the county government within laws that it requires to perform its function. I'll tell you, for example, there is a law that was passed by the Senate which allows county governments to be able to get resources from, say, for example, a national asset, say like the way Narok gets money from Masai Mara directly to the county government. Why would not Nakuru County get some money directly from the geothermal power and be able to ring-fence that money to go specifically to address the issue of health, roads, and education? All that requires is the law in the Senate to work with the law with the county assemblies to be able to make sure when this money is sent by KenGen or the other person generating power is able to do directly what is required, which is address issues of roads, so that when we start dealing with the road, we don't build half roads or move roads from one area to the other. But
unfortunately, we are seeing that that is not happening. Looking at a very practical example, Embu County generates about 60 or 70% of all the power.
Yes.
The Seven Forks dams, but unfortunately the people there do not know. One, they don't have water, they don't even have electricity.
Yes, and that's what I was saying. Already there is a law in Senate which is sitting there. Has it been enforced?
It's gathering dust.
You understand?
Yes.
In my own sub-county in Bahati, there is a quarry which generates close to $500 million a year, and there was a law that was in place, which is supposed to be enforced by the Minister of Mining, guaranteeing 5% of the revenues from that quarry to the people within that community. We don't need to beg money for building a healthcare facility because that quarry can build. We don't need to beg money for building a school because that quarry can build. The same thing in Naivasha. We have geothermal power, we have flowers, we have
tourism
five tourist locations within Nakuru County. Nakuru County generates over 6% of the GDP of the country. If we are left with only 5% of that contribution directly to us, we will not only support Nakuru County, but even the other counties around that depend on us. Nakuru is surrounded by 8 counties, which all depend with us. Baringo hospitals are not there. They all come to Nakuru. Kericho, Bomet, they all depend from the improved infrastructure in Nakuru. Nyandarua requires our market for their food. Laikipia, security issues are managed from Nakuru. Narok, Kiambu depends on our sand. What do we get from all this that we support? We need to put more money in these counties that be able to support. Nairobi the same. Nairobi is a county where if they are able to generate 100 billion of their own money, they can lend other counties. And this business of county suffering, we can have counties, economic blocks that are able to support our economic blocks.